So we're in Bristol, Rhode Island, which is located in Narragansett Bay on the East Bay. And we're at the ferry terminal here. We're just gonna do a little, walk around town, I guess. Explore. We'll talk about a couple things. Not gonna get in too in depth or anything. That's kind of cool. So this is Seth Paul Company, Wood and Lumber. So this building over here, wow, that's pretty cool. I was used to store and offload coal, wood, and lumber. Pretty cool. So yeah, Bristol is like a seaside community. It was originally settled in 1681. The incorporation, oh man, I don't know off the top of my head. Well, actually 1747 is when Bristol was incorporated as a town in Rhode Island, because it used to be part of Massachusetts, interestingly enough. You saw the DeWolf Tavern back there. That's named after the DeWolf family. A part of Rhode Island history is a little dark. The DeWolf family is famous for slave trading and owning plantations and such. One of the richest families in America. I think it's kind of funny that they named a tavern after them, but that's okay. I'm here to check out some old buildings though. And here's an example of like a port side warehouse. You can see the a piece of metal coming out in those doors. That's where they used to like hoist up materials, and they would store our goods inside these buildings like that. We talked about that before when exploring the seaport district, or the old seaport in Providence along Water Street. You'll see a lot of buildings that have doors that lead to nowhere. So they actually used to hoist up goods and materials to store on multiple levels before, elevators were a thing. Anyway, this area has a lot of history beyond just the village of Bristol. Before or around the time of the settlement, there was a King Philip's War. If you don't know about that, that's one of the earliest conflicts in American history. And nearby is Mount Hope, where Metacomet had his headquarters, or where he staged and planned his attacks. There were some battles near here as well. Looks like got a little ice rink coming up here. Not quite ready, although it is very, very cold. Oh, it feels cold. I just got off the ferry. I'm sure the wind chills were definitely below freezing. It's not, I think about 40 degrees today. We're in Independence Park. We're just going to take a little walk around here. Let's see, we talked a little bit about early history, but not much. But yeah, in 1775 the Royal Navy came over here demanding provisions. At the time, I believe that they were occupying Newport. They haven't occupied most of the area. But anyway, when the town refused, they shelled the town. So there was some action here in Bristol in the Revolutionary War. Feel free to pause. Here's an interesting one I didn't know. British and Hessian troops came to Warren, which is north of here, burned several buildings, and came down to Bristol, and they looted many homes and burned 30 buildings, including the church. And the citizens were taken to Newport as hostages. Man, a lot of stuff happened in Bristol during the war, or revolution, or the War of Independence, I should say. So this town definitely has a lot that connects it to the War of Independence. So it's no surprise that in 1777, Bristol was one of the first towns, I wouldn't say one of, but they claimed to be the first town to celebrate 4th of July as a holiday. And that's something that is very, people here are very proud of. And you'll see different things around town that allude to that. Not only do you have Independence Park and a celebration of the history of this town and its involvement in the Revolutionary War, they have the celebration every year, and around town you'll see these signs that sort of allude to American symbolism, and the town is permanently decorated with these things. Like even the wreaths have red, white, and blue on them. Like this is a few weeks after Christmas. Yeah, something part of the town's identity. So now we're walking down Hope Street, which is the main street of Bristol. Hopefully we'll see some cool houses like this one and just take nice shots of to share with you. For those of you who are interested in old architecture, such as me, I don't know if you can see it that well on the camera, but the middle of the street, usually it's marked, double yellow line, it's marked red, white, and blue permanently. That is a part of to commemorate the fact that this town is steeped in the history, I guess, of 4th of July. Like off the top of my head, I know that 4th of July was celebrated, but wasn't really like celebrated in the way that we imagine today, popularly. And I guess here in Bristol, it was a little different. It was more of like a celebration. I don't think there was any fireworks, but they did shoot off cannons, so that could be the origin, I guess, of the fireworks making noise and celebrating that way. But anyway, with that being the first town to celebrate 4th of July, they're known as America's most patriotic town because of that. It's sort of like the nickname. There's an awesome state park near here called Colt State Park. Check out some of the properties near here. Single condo, $279. Wow. Ice cream and snacks. I am hungry. Colt Memorial Hall. It's now the Colt School. Eesh. Bristol Art Museum. Rogers Free Library. Oh, that's a cool building. 1877. So you got the original house there, and then the newer wing over there. I think that's pretty awesome, actually. Yeah, they never get sick of red, white, and blue here. Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to go for a walk in a new place. I haven't really left my city in a long time unless it's for work. And this weekend I had some free time, and I noticed they had free ferry. So check that out. Hopefully that's still around for a while. I think it's pretty awesome. Later this week I'm going to be going to a different city. It's going to be snowing, but hopefully I'll still have a good time. Maybe take some video there as well. Eventually I need to pick a place to eat. That's a cool building. Bristol Bagel, we're going. All right. Just got out of Bristol Bagel Works. I had a sausage and cheese on the works. And it was good. It was really good. I highly recommend it. It reminds me of like this old place you used to go to in Upton. Town of Bristol, Burnside Hall. You know, I'm gonna presume something here. I'm sure it's named after General Ambrose Burnside, the Civil War general, who's famous for sideburns. I'm sure he didn't invent them, but they came known as sideburns because he had some particularly large sideburns. St. Michael's Parish House. On the plaque earlier, it said that the St. Michael's Church was burned down by the British. It's a pretty shitty move. But I'm sure this is, well, this one's 1867, I think. It said there's probably been several rebuilds. It's a nice town. There's a lot of independent shops and restaurants in Bristol. And it seems to be pretty popular with the you know, the older crowd. It's not exactly like a happening place or anything, but it's still a cool place to visit, especially for the day. It's so easy to get here. You don't have to take the ferry if you don't want. You can take a bus. You can also take a bike ride down the East Bay bike path. Looks empty. I wonder what this town is like on 4th of July in terms of like crowds. I'm sure there's a lot of interest here for that. I don't know if you noticed yet, the benches are shaped like boats. I think that is so cool. This is interesting. Crosswalk flags. Alert traffic when you want to cross. Pick up a flag before entering the crosswalk and leave the flag in the container on the other side of the street. That is something. Not like anyone's watching, but let me know in the comments if you've ever seen something like that before, either where you live or someplace you visited, because I'd be really interested to know that or hear from you. It seems like a very unique system, actually. I think it's a little clever. Walking down the other end of Hope Street, very residential, but there's a lot of cool buildings here. A couple mansions. Straight ahead would be is a public park, Wally Beach, I believe. I think there's a private beach somewhere here, or at least a town beach. So I think for the video, I'm going to take a little shortcut here down Union Street. There is a, as mentioned earlier, the red, white, and blue line goes up Hope Street and ends up back onto High Street, which we're going to go next. We're going to walk up High, then check out the town common. I'm sort of figuring out what this channel is all about. It's pretty much all about visiting places, checking it out, so that you know, there's a couple other channels like that I enjoy. So you can check out places you haven't been, or maybe you can check it out before you go. This is a weird time during the pandemic where I actually got COVID. I had to work the whole time, by the way, but I did take off a few weeks for COVID. And I spent the time watching travel videos. There's a guy from originally from New York who I like a lot. His channel is called Action Kid. He visits like a lot of major places like New York City and stuff. And I wish I had the resources to check out more cities, but you know, the main purpose of that wouldn't be necessarily for the channel. It would be for me to check out new places. And I guess my New Year's resolution this year, or one of them, is to, I don't know, instead of thinking about doing something, why don't you actually do it? You know, make a video, make something for people to enjoy. But priority number one, as it should be for everybody, should be making yourself happy. So what makes me happy? Walking around new places. Secondarily, like walking around new places and sharing that with people. You know, Bristol does remind me a lot of Providence in terms of the architecture style. Like, you'll see a lot of, like, bulk of these houses are from maybe 150 years ago, and then a few of them are from late 1800s, like this one here. As we saw earlier, there's some early American, I would call it houses. Bristol PD. Constitution Street. This one right here is 1804. That's what I would describe as early American. And like you see how it has like classical elements to it. It has like the columns and stuff. Some people consider that, oh, it's a colonial style house. Like, yeah, it's a box. I guess that's what that means. I'm not sure. Because I remember growing up, I lived in a colonial style house, but it was built in 1979. So I'm not sure exactly what it means in terms of like layout or whatnot. But the designs derive from the older homes here. Examples here, anyway. 241. See, a house like this reminds me of something you'd see like Cape Cod or something. Review this one. Joseph W. Barrett, Chief of Police. It says 1833, 1890. If you see two dates, usually it means the original building, build date, and then the renovation or add-ons. Byfield School. It's building 1872. Oh, this is the common. The Bristol State House. Now, Bristol used to be the capital of Rhode Island, if you believe it. And I wish I had more time to share Bristol with you, but I'm not good at this, so I lost my extra battery, and I have no idea where it went, and I had another SIM card, what do you call that? You know, memory chip or whatever, and I lost that too, so. But it's good, because one of my problems I've been having is making videos too long. It's nice and quiet. Alright, so we're getting back to where we started, the corner of Hope and State Street here. Yeah, straight ahead is the ferry terminal. It's a big chair. Well, anyway, thank you for joining me through walking Bristol, especially those who've already subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it very much.